Hello, my sleepy bears. Welcome back to episode 5 of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Today we are in the most forgettable and just about the most hated level, Sandopolis. The reason why it is the most hated and most forgettable is because this level takes very long and everything looks the same. I will, now in the second zone, there does become a thing that gets a little... Okay, we're pausing again. And we're back. Yes, so this one is very forgettable, as well as it's just... It's annoying. It's... That's the best way I can put it. Very... I guess not nicely. But this one's just... There's a lot of sand, and desert levels suck. No one likes desert levels. And if you like desert levels, I'm sorry for you. But right now, it's just... I'm trying to find the best way to describe it without just saying it's boring and bland. We have a desert level here where there's quicksand, all the regular motifs of a desert level, and we're just trying to make it through here because I don't really care about this. There is some more invincibility down there, so we're gonna go ahead and grab that, or not. That's fine. I know that we are very close in order to having the final Super Emerald, so we are getting very close to reaching Hypersonic, which is a beauty to behold, really. And it is a pretty good reward, actually. At least I like to think so. I like to think that from Sonic 2 to Sonic 3 and Knuckles, they updated what the regular... They updated how Supersonic controlled, and it definitely works, because Supersonic was just very slippery in 2. He's a little easier to control in 3, and Hypersonic is a little bit faster than Supersonic, so I don't know, it's really hard to tell, if Hypersonic is better than Supersonic. I just think he is because we have to do more work to get him. But I don't know if you need the Hyper Emeralds to get the best ending, or if you just need the Chaos Emeralds. I think it's just the Chaos Emeralds, but I could be wrong. I could be very, very wrong. I'm not sure. So now we have a little part where we get to scale down a building. Kind of like a reverse rock climb. Have you ever been on one of those where they harness you in and you just slowly climb up a wall? And then once you're done, you just kick your feet back as you slowly rock down, and then you're just wee. But that's kind of what's happening here. Sonic just got done with a rock wall. Now he's just making his way downtown, walking fast, faces past as he's homebound. I never said my song references were good, but they are indeed song references. Oh yeah, speaking of song references, I was watching TikTok, and Call Me Chris, she's a comedian. She does a lot of skit comedy. It's just a lot of relatable characters and some stereotypical characters. But there's a lesbian relationship, so I'm already okay, this is cool. But just herself, she did a thing where she was at a party, and everyone was hating Nickelback, and then she just turned to the camera and started lip-syncing to the song Save Me, which starts with "The prison gates won't open up for me," and I'm just ah yeah, got another Nickelback fan. I like Nickelback, and I'm not gonna say they're the best band ever, but they're good. I'm just trying to figure out why so many people hate them. That's the hardest part for me, is if the lead singer or if any member of Nickelback did something that was really bad, yeah, I get it. But I don't think they've done anything bad. But then again, I also don't do a lot of research into bands, specifically to try to find troubling stuff. That's just not how I roll. I'm just oh hey, they put out a new album. I'll listen to it. And then once I'm done listening to it, I'm yep, that was an album. Some people go really far with music, and I'm not for gatekeeping music. Music is music. Some people just go really far. They know like they know every single band member. They know all the stuff that they work together on, all the song lyrics that whoever wrote, all this and the other. I'm like, okay, that's a lot. Please know that you're a minority here. I feel like most people just listen to it and then just move on to the next song. Although my boyfriend, he doesn't even listen to like songs via albums. He just listens to like the singles and the radio. I'm like, I mean that's definitely like one way to do it, but if I'm like listening to an album, I just prefer to like listen to like the album. I don't just want to hit shuffle on it. But again, that's just me. That's why I'm like a big fan of vinyls. It's just the album exactly as the artist intended. However, I know that a lot of people are not like fond of. There's been a lot of hate about Panic at the Disco recently because everyone's upset that like Brandon Urie can't write songs like the original songwriters. I listened to the album and it's all right. It's not bad. Some of them are really good. I really like Viva La Vengeance. That's a really good song that just gets stuck in my head for all the right reasons. But there's a lot of other songs that people are like, stop. My personal take on it is that I think Brandon Urie should not stop making music. However, I think he should use like a different name. Even if he is just names himself the Brandon Urie Band, I'll take it, because I feel like it's not the fact that he keeps making music, it's the fact that he keeps making music under the name of the previous band. I feel like that's it, because he's the only remaining original member left. I feel like that's the main reason as to why people are getting so upset about it. Because he's quote-unquote tarnishing their name. And I'm just like, I don't really care. Like, I can see it, but I also am not gonna go out with a picket fence and a pitchfork, you know? Like, yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's not like we can just banish him. Like, Kesha did something very similar, but also barely noticeable. When she was all big into, like, the pop dance party music, her name was Kesha with a $sign. Oh, I am scared now. Oh, that was really close. Okay. Kesha did, she had a $sign for the S. And then after, let's say, stuff happened, because we don't need to go into specifics, goggle. She got big old videos. I said goo gaga. After some stuff happened, you can look it up. There is Google. She then proceeded to use the same name Kesha, but remove the $sign. And I like that, and also don't like that at the same time, because, yes, she is still Kesha, and she also gave us a way to, like, differentiate it. But I still feel like I'm obligated to call it all of, like, Kesha's discography. Which, you know, I definitely prefer the old Kesha instead of the new Kesha. I know I'm probably, like, one of the few people that do. I'm not trying to say that Rainbow was a bad album. It wasn't a great album. It was just okay. Very few songs stood out to me, but then again, this was like when it came out, so, you know. If you don't listen to songs like 3 or 4 times in a row, then you're not gonna have a strong opinion about it. That's just kind of how it is. Like, if you just listen to like one album one time, and you're just gonna be like, nah, it's an album. But then you like listen to it more and like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty good. And that's why music's like so subjective for me. Just because, like, to form an opinion on it, you have to like see it a lot. It's not like a movie where like you see it once and like, yeah, I saw it, it was okay. But like if you see a movie like over and over and over again, then it's like pretty obvious you love it. Like, if you're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna give it like a second or third chance. Yeah, but you kind of already know how you feel about it. With music, that is such a specific thing where, like, because the song only takes like 3 minutes to listen to, you can totally like put it on, and again, music is just the audio. So you could very easily be like reading or writing or literally doing anything with music on, and your brain will just register it as background noise and not even focus on it. Which is again why I have vinyls, so I can like sit down and force myself to listen to like an entire album. So I can just like I try to not make it background noise. And if it is background noise, it's stuff that everyone's already heard 1,000 times. Specifically like all the Christmas albums and such. Speaking of Christmas albums, I was at Target today and I found a vinyl of Charlie Brown's Christmas in gold foil, and it was, the disc itself was green with like gold splatter. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but also I already have this album. I don't have like the gold splatter one, I have like the silver foil one, but I'm like, I don't need this. I don't need to spend my money on this. Now, what I did want to spend my money on was An Evening with Silk Sonic, which has Bruno Mars and the other guy, and it has Smokin' Out My Window and Leave My Door Open. Like, those are two really good songs. And the fact that the price was just a little under as to what a normal vinyl costs, that was really impressive to me. My boyfriend said no. Anyway, sorry. Now that I'm back and present here, in this level, we have ghosts here, and the ghosts specifically, they just like float around for a little bit, and then once there's 4 of them, the more ghosts there is, the darker it'll get. You can keep the lights on by grabbing onto like the little pluggy thingy, and once there's 4 ghosts and it is like very dark, then they will start to grow horns, and they will like start coming trying to attack you. So you know, it's fun. Again, I didn't realize that I was talking about music for 12 minutes. Whoops, that's my bad. Oh well. I do like looking at movies, and like, there's a lot of stuff that I really want to do. I really want to like sit down and watch an entire Let's Play from someone that's like very underground that I really enjoy. I'm not watching Let's Plays for a reason. I try to, but I just don't really have enough time. And then once I do have time, I'm mostly spending it by recording stuff for my own Let's Play, so I can try to be in advance. So then I can just like have a nice while to just like relax, which then either goes on for far too long or it completely backfires. One of the two. You know how it is. As well as there's a lot of like, I didn't even realize this, but apparently it's like a really big thing about how like vapes are getting like really big into like middle schoolers and high schoolers. And like high schoolers I can see that they do anything, but like middle schoolers, like that's the part I'm like, how do you even get that? And like I'm glad that vapes were not big, or they were even barely a thing when I was in high school, because now, of course, you know, I do have vapes and I do use nicotine and such, but to imagine that along with the stress of high school, I couldn't even fathom that. Just going in, like, in between every single class, just, like, trying to sneak a puff here or there, that must cause a lot of stress. So I can't even imagine it. Sonic, you want to try again, this time without double jumping? Down we go. Yeah, it's just, I'm trying to think about it, and like as a kid, like everyone knows, oh, you're not supposed to smoke cigarettes, and like you can't even like get cigarettes. Like the only way you can do is like I'm not gonna give ideas. I'm just gonna say there are methods. However, they are very hard. It is very hard to sneak a cigarette. But like for a vape, like someone has to like go and get that for you. You know, like you can't just like. It's very hard for me to think about the method that people use in order to obtain it, because like alcohol is the same thing with like nicotine. I mean with vapes, I mean, where it's like the only thing I can think of with alcohol is if like your parents bought like a thing of beer or whatever, and they just don't notice that one goes missing. That's like the thing that I could think of, but then again, like one beer is not going to get you drunk. It might potentially get you tipsy if you have not eaten. It really depends. For me, I had like a whole like regular bottle of wine. It fit like 2 wine cups, two regular sized wine, 2 wine cups, and I drank it, and I wasn't like drunk. I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go and like run into a car. I was just like at home playing Stardew Valley, and the alcohol just made me tired. So I was like, I guess I'll just go fishing. That's most I did. Fishing in Stardew Valley specifically, not like fishing in real life. I guess fishing is like the thing you can... Well, then again, there's like hooks. And I try to be really careful about the activities that I do while I plan on getting intoxicated. Because I don't... Like, everyone's read the horror stories about how, like, people got into accidents, this, that, and whatever. And, like, it's horrible. Like, it ruins people's lives, and it's not fun, you know? So, anytime that I plan on becoming intoxicated, I always make sure that I don't have to go anywhere. And if I do have to go anywhere, DoorDash is there for a reason. So we have this boss here, which is actually going to be really easy to take down. Thankfully. Whack. Whack his pee-pee. And make sure you don't come in this courtroom again. Sheriff, whack his pee-pee. So now we've finally finished one of the most boring levels in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Thank goodness. I mean, Sandopolis, really? What's next? Lava Reef Zone? Okay, welcome to Lava Reef Zone. So in this level, we are actually going to get the final Hyper Emerald, or Master Emerald, or Super Emerald. I don't care. It's the shiny thing that makes Sonic go wow. And with that, I do want to let you know, just audibly, there is a potential epilepsy or seizure warning. It's not happening now. However, once we get the final emerald, I'm going to become Hypersonic. And it's not specifically Hypersonic that gives off the epilepsy warning. It's specifically how if you do a double jump as Hypersonic, the screen flashes. So, I'm just letting you know now that you might just want to, like, if you are prone to epilepsy, I have no idea if you are. I was just like, I don't know, like turning away a little bit, or like watching this in like a well-lit room. And if you don't know if you have epilepsy, then please don't sue me if you start having a seizure from my video. That's all I'm saying. This is a verbal warning. As well as it's been led up multiple times, because I've mentioned it quite a few times. So here we have this massive destroyer thing. But hey, look! We got another coin. And the thing is, after you finish the games, as in all 4 of these Sonic Origin games, you can then just use the coins to unlock stuff in the museum. It doesn't do a whole lot. You can unlock songs and songs, movies, animations, that's about it. Not a lot. Sorry, songs, movies, and illustrations, that's what I meant to say. So just like photos and songs and movies. Like the storyboard behind the intro and outro for every single thing of Sonic Origins, as well as some of the episodes of Sonic Mania Adventures. Which, this is really cool, but they did put all the episodes of Sonic Mania Adventures in Sonic Origins. So if, like, 20 years later, people are like, what is this? It'll be there. Just in case the internet or YouTube dies, it'll be there. And if the internet dies, that's like a thing that... I don't know if it's happening. I think, like, there's like a rumor about how the internet's gonna be gone in, like, 2032. I don't know if that's true or not, but I would also believe it. Because you gotta remember that technology is always evolving. And, like, I'm just thinking about how, like, once we made, like, the light bulb, we didn't say, yep, that's where it's gonna end. We didn't just make a microwave and like, yep, this is where it's gonna end. So it's really hard for me to believe that the internet is where it's going to end. I feel like it's going to get a lot better, and with it, it's gonna cost a lot of money from the government. I'm just gonna be real about that. Just gonna be a lot of stuff where the government's gonna have to put money into getting new stuff, and we will have faster internet. Because, I don't know if you know this, but America is very well known for not having fast Wi-Fi. There's a lot of, like, internet cafes in Japan and China and Korea where they have, like, so much better internet speeds than us. So I know it's possible. We just gotta get there. However, it's gonna take a little bit for us to get there. Oh, hey, what's over here? And look, now we have Hypersonic. Yes, Hypersonic flashes colors, but right there, you do the double jump. It's very bright. And actually, I did not see any warnings about epilepsy on the start of this game, so I don't know. But I know, like, nowadays, a lot of game companies put epilepsy warning on a lot of stuff that doesn't really warrant it. I know I've talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again. Specifically, they do it for, like, Puyo Puyo Tetris, and just for, like, a bunch of games, because epilepsy wasn't really, like, a big thing. Like, it happened a little bit in, like, the 80s or whatever, but, like, not a lot of people, like, had it or knew about it. Now it's kind of, I mean, it's still very underground, but the game companies put it in every single title just so that they don't get sued. But the only time that I ever saw a movie where there was, like, a very prominent epilepsy warning was The Incredibles 2. The reason for that is because in The Incredibles 2, this isn't really a spoiler, and if you're planning on watching Incredibles 2, there's a scene where it's a hypnosis thing, and it just, like, keeps going and, like, it alternates colors. It's only 2 colors, and they just keep alternating. But it is, like, very in your face. So they had to put up, like, epilepsy warnings. Granted, not at the box office, just specifically at right in front of the door. So you could spend the money to get a ticket, not know about it, and then once you go in there to go and watch the movie that you just paid for, that's when you find out that there's an epilepsy warning on it. And you're like, great! Just what I wanted. To not watch the movie. So I know it'll be a lot of fun. So if you have not seen it, if you have not seen The Incredibles 2, first off, I highly suggest it. It is one of the best sequels to any Disney movie I've ever seen. It flows immediately after the first one. You could literally have, like, a 2-in-1 combo, watch them back to back, and it'll flow just about perfectly. It's really good. It really feels like no time has passed from the act of the first movie to the second one. So it's really good. I do suggest checking it out if you haven't already. But yeah, I just think it's a really good movie. Where are you going, Hypersonic? Oh yeah, I'm also really excited for Sonic 3. The movie, not the game. Because we have Shadow in it. I'm so excited for Shadow. I hope he's gonna be Edgy the Hedgy. They've been really good at, like, fixing the characters and making sure that they actually have feelings. And that's one thing that I've really enjoyed from the Sonic movies, is that they've specifically made us that you empathize. You empathize and sympathize, and you feel for Sonic and Tails and Knuckles. And so I'm just very excited to see what they're going to do with Shadow. As well, I'm excited to see what they're going to do with Amy as well. Because I don't know if Amy's going to be in there. There's a hint that it could potentially happen. But I'm excited for it. I I'm not saying that Amy's gonna be like, you know, the girly girl, but if she is going to be that, I also want her to be the hammer whacking, you know, winner of the day, where like someone insults her, so she just like smacks them to the moon. She's like, yeah, I like pink and I like dresses, but I also like to shut you up. Something like that. Something similar to that. Not specifically that, but something kind of like close to that-ish, you know? I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but you know, it's just what I would like to see. Either that or just her being a complete, you know, boss and being like, yeah, I'm awesome. I know it. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you all next time. Goodbye, sea bears.